The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Intercontinental Championship. Introducing first, accompanied by Finn Balor and Cargill, representing the Judgment Day, he is the new Intercontinental Champion, Dirty Dominik Mysterio!
So as everybody knows, last night, Dirty Dom made history, winning his first WWE singles title, that thrilling fatal four-way. When it appeared the Judgment Day brethren, Finn Balor was in position to claim it. Instead, a well-timed frog splash secured the victory for Dominik Mysterio, now the Intercontinental Champion. Had an 0-3 record at WrestleMania prior to that stunning upset, and wasting no time, turning right around with a 24-hour turnaround for his first title defense. Backlash is presented by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. Injured. Go to forthepeople.com.
I'd love somebody to get us an update on Pat as soon as possible.
This is obviously very testing circumstances for us, as our beloved colleague Pat McAfee was choked out by Gunther moments ago, but we are here to serve you, the fan, document the live event that's in front of us. So Joe Tessitore and Michael Cole ringside as we prepare for this Intercontinental Championship.
Thank you for being here.
Anything for you.
And his opponent from Ecatepec, Mexico, weighing 87 kilos, Penta!
You know, Joe, before, and again, I'm out here to do my job. I'm not going to take away from this match. I'm going to try to add to it, but I do want to make one thing clear. If we cannot do our jobs, if we cannot have an opinion, if we cannot celebrate champions on a wonderful weekend like this, and as commentators, we are subject to an assault, and that's what that was. That was an assault.
Absolutely it was.
And Pat McAfee, God bless him, came to my aid, and he ended up paying for it. Adam Pearce needs to do something about Gunther, because if he doesn't, then superstars are going to run roughshod over us each and every time we say something that may be a bit controversial. You know what? Maybe I did cross the line a little bit with a couple of my comments over the past few weeks, and I apologize for that. But we're fans, Joe, you understand that. We all get caught up in the moment. We all get caught up in the emotion, and there's absolutely no way. We're not trained fighters. We shouldn't be subject to attacks like that. That's all I'm going to say about it.
The actions that happened just moments ago can never be condoned, never be tolerated. And I know I echo the general manager, Adam Pearce, in saying that. And Michael, thank goodness you're okay. I don't know how you're down here even composing yourself mentally, let alone physically.
Because again, we can't let bullies prevent us from doing our job. LeBron James isn't attacking Stephen A. Smith when he makes comments about LeBron. They'll have a conversation about it, but it doesn't get physical. And that's what happened here tonight.
Well, what happened this weekend in Vegas was the fatal four-way that went Dirty Dom's way, and now that championship is his, the Intercontinental title.
And Joe, I would like to give props to Dominik Mysterio. And again, I've not been his biggest fan over the years. I've had a lot of issues with the way that he's treated his dad, Rey Mysterio, but he proved to the world last night with three of the best in the game that he could win a major championship, and he did just that.
Meanwhile, you were on the call for this fatal four-way. I thought that the luchador sensation, Penta, looked great. He was at his offensive best with the varied attack. He had the Penta driver on Finn Balor, only to have Braun Breaker save the day. Then hit the Mexican Destroyer on Dominik himself.
Yes, indeed, and Dominik ended up pinning his own Judgment Day colleague, Finn Balor, who's actually out here in support of Dom, which I find a little, well, I wasn't expecting it.
It's interesting last night as Dom's on the early attack here as he came to our post-show set in front of thousands of fans outside Allegiant Stadium, Michael, and he was not bashful about celebrating the moment. He said, I solidified myself. He said, people said, I'll never be as good as your dad. He said, I'm now the greatest Mysterio of all time, and this is exactly the explosiveness that we're seeing out of Penta.
And it's interesting you bring up that quote, because on the Pat McAfee show this morning, John Cena was a guest. John Cena said that he believes Dominik Mysterio at the end of his career may be better than his father ever was.
Wow, that is a massive statement considering the longevity of the Hall of Famer. Now, you sit here and you say we got a quick turnaround for the Intercontinental Championship. You wonder who that favors. And Michael, I would offer this as Dom looks to go fly, but instead eats that big kick from Penta. But perhaps not as much as asked of Dom yesterday in the Fatal 4-Way. Off the top with the crossbody. Because early on in that match, he was teamed up with Finn Balor for a lot of the work, while Penta was a target on his own as he goes flying. Man, oh man, 24 hours after crowning a new IC champ. Could we be doing it again? Penta's got momentum and he's cooking. Look at him fly.